Apologies for that, I have a little bit of a technical issue there. Well, we'll continue. So where we finished was we had our short edges machined. I have now turned the bag or the pieces right side out, and I have casing on one end and a casing on the other end. I have my lining and I have my outer piece. I've finger pressed this edge here, just pulled all that out and finger pressed it, or you can press it with your iron, depends on your fabric how crisp it is. I was able to finger press that. Now turn it back again so that they are right sides facing, and now pull it apart and you're going to match up. Casing is the short edges, and you can line them up so that they're nice and so they nest together. So now what you have are the two lining pieces facing each other, your two outside pieces facing each other, and you have nested the seams. Okay, I'm going to machine full length of one side, and on the second side machine all the outer part, but we're going to leave about a 2-inch gap in the lining for turning. So I'm going to machine again one long side, so the lining and the outer all in one piece. The second side you're going to leave an opening of about 2 inches in the lining. Be back to you in a moment. And welcome back. Now we have machined both the long side and left an opening here. Now at this point, if you wish, you can just pull the bag through and your bag will be done. I like to box the corners, so I'll just show you how to box out the corners. So take the end where there's a little fold in this case here, or you might have a seam on it if you were doing another bag. Pull. You see me, I'm just pulling the two apart. So I get a triangular shape on the end. I'm going to open out that seam, and I'm going to find, if it's a seam, if you had a seam across the bottom, you'd be finding matching seam to seam, but I'm going to match the seam to my crease. Can you see that there? I see the pin coming through, so it seems matching. It's nice and flat, and I have opened it out. I'm going to do that now to all four. So again, pull it out, get a triangular shape, finger press open that seam. Just makes it easier for it to lie. Make sure the seam, you can feel the seam or see the seam matching the crease or seam that you might have on the end. Again, pulling it out, opening out that seam allowance there, getting it so that it lines up with your line of stitching. I'm just putting a little pin in it to hold it, and I do this to all four corners, and this will give me a lovely boxed out end in my little bag. You probably maybe have done the same if you were doing you would do the same with a bag bottom. If you're making a tote bag or anything, it's just a lovely finish. Wait till we just get, now there we go. I've lined those up and I've put a pin in it. Now put it down flat on your table there. Take a ruler and a pencil. Measure up about an inch, inch and a quarter, inch and a half. The deeper you come up here, the bigger the bottom. I found about an inch and a half to be about perfect. So I actually have an inch and a half ruler here. So I'm just going to mark that. Get the center here, and so that the ruler is, and just mark a sewing line across all four corners. This is probably the longest little part of doing this bag. Just getting this. If you have this little ruler, it has a little 45-degree angle on it. So I'm laying that up against the edge here and getting the corners across. So that's how that has worked. And the last one. Now again, I'm going to machine this, I'll turn off the video again, machine across, securing the ends, and I'm going to trim away that corner there. You can leave it, no problem. I like to trim it away, entirely personal choice. With you now. And I have machined all 4 corners, and now I'm just going to clip away the seam allowance. I think we have a little problem again, it's frozen, so I'll just go and make a new video of this. Apologies for that, 2 seconds. So it obviously